Okay, I'm starting the broadcast. Our exam in here. Easy exam, folks. One chapter, I guess. Might look at the other chapter, but the exam is on one chapter. For 11 o'clock class. It is on Tuesday, May the 8th. Tuesday, May the 8th, at 10 o'clock. So that'll be a week from today at 10 o'clock. So that change, we'll be an hour early. Next week, I hope everybody hears this out there live streaming. We can't play around the end of the semester with all your dreams and your work in. And for taxes now, I think that's Thursday at 10 o'clock. Have a principal's class service. Okay, so you will have your exam. I made it up just short questions, either 40 or 50, multiple choice. All right, and it's a brand new test. It's not out anywhere, not floating around on anybody's old computer. I try to make new tests for most of my class. I have been guilty of using an old cost test, and I have been guilty of using an old tax test, but not too often. Okay, we're on page, I guess, or chapter that is. We're on joint and byproduct cost. Okay, and please read the chapter thorough because there's a lot of chapters, a lot of questions on all of it. Okay. All right, look at page 444 and 443. These two pages you must know. We'll work exercises today and Thursday to get you acquainted with those. All right, you must know how to do joint cost allocation based on sales value. And you must know how to do joint cost allocation based on net realized value. We will practice problems with those. All right, then we had a byproduct and scrap. If you would look at page 446. All right. Just even for a byproduct, you got net realized value approach, but a byproduct, and there is scrap. Sawmill, maybe the sawdust is scrap, but you can still sell it as scrap. Scrap metal you can sell as scrap. Some byproducts are top-notch products, I suppose. But on page 447, the net realized value approach, work in process joint cost. Okay, you have sales, you have cost of goods sold, you have it down to gross margin, operating expenses, income, other income, royalties, and you have net income of $957,500. All right, now if we look down at B part of that, net realized value approach, reduce cost of goods sold. Now up here we reduce work in process, joint cost. All right, here sales are the same. What changes on those two statements? What number changes?
Unadjusted cost of goods sold.
Well, and how about cost of goods sold from the manufacturing statement? One was 5,000, and the other one we included the four. And one was 5 million. The other we included 400,000. All right, and then everything else. Ending finished goods 277 on one, That changed to 300 on the other. All right, now in this case, though, you have income before tax of 980. We had 957 with the other approach. But we'll have to put all that together where it makes sense. I want you to look at, that was still joint cost. Look at page 448. Byproduct and job and scrap and job order. Byproduct and scrap and job order. All right, look at page 449. Net realized value approach. Present as other revenue. Now, I don't know what they sold this byproduct for, but income from principal operations, 911,000. Royalty is 80,000. But if you look up here at sales, 7,200,000, and other revenue, byproduct sales, 600,000. You see that 600,000 just added on to net income as other income. Now down to the bottom of the page, you've got sales, 7,200,000. Still got cost of goods sold and all that. Has ending finished goods 300, where we had 200 at the top. Let's see what the difference is. 980,000 to 991,000. Bought byproduct sales, 600,000 at the top. Now look at the difference between these two statements. Why was brought byproduct sales at the top for 600,000 as other revenue? The byproduct sales, why are we subtracting out 200 down under other income, royalties and byproduct sales? So we either got it under total revenue or we either got it under other income. But why did we take 600,000, take out 200? We'll find out, I suppose. We'll, probably need to read and look at the example. Look at page 450. If you sell scrap, you sell it for cash, first entry, and credit manufacturing overhead. That reduces your materials, labor, and overhead cost for a product. Another way you can do it is at the middle of the page, you can debit scrap inventory, some kind of chicken, and credit work in process. So you're still reducing the cost of your product, whether you reduce factory overhead or whether you reduce work in process. All right, and when you sell this, of course, you're going to debit cash and credit cash inventory, or chicken inventory, scrap inventory, whatever. All right, so your scrap, two ways to handle it. One, take it out of manufactured overhead. Two, take it out of work in process. That's no problem. Now, on your byproduct, two ways to handle it on page 449. One is to put it under other revenue, and one is to put it under other income. But all right, I wonder why. I'd have to read the example. I guess you look at page 448. Look at the middle of the page. Now, cash for accounts receivable, 600,000. Credit work in process, 200, and credit other income, that's 400. So what we're doing there, other income is 400, your second B part. But you're reducing your work in process by $200,000. All right, if you reduce your work in process, that probably increases your ending finished goods. We'll have to look at that. Okay, we just need to look at examples. Go back to page 446, I guess, 446. Here again is how to handle that 600 and the 200, as we saw in the AB part on exhibit 12. All right, work in process inventory for the 400, credit work in process joint products. Debit for fertilized pallets. And then debit work in process fertilized pallets, 200, and credit other accounts. And finished goods, credit work in process, or we can debit cash or accounts receivable. Okay, we're gonna have to look at that and try to put it together, not leave it out in the code. So, let's look at a few situations and try to build on that a little bit at a time. Let's go to your exercise on page 430, 456, 457. All right, look at number 2. Triscuit Company makes a variety of products from a joint process. The joint cost per batch is $120,000, and cash batch produces the following products. All right, you produce, all these products, BOCO, LOCO, ROCO, SOCO, DOCO, or whatever. You're producing all these products. You've got the number of units, and you got the sales value as split off. How would you classify each product, joint, byproduct, or scrap? Provide rationale for your decision. Now, look at those. See if you think they are joint products, byproducts, or scrap. And what criteria are you using? So let me bring up my solutions, I guess. All right, look at number 12 here, and let's see what they did to try to classify this. All right. Sales value is split off. We figured that is a joint product. Sales value is split off. Now, this don't, you'd have to really be familiar with this company to even answer this question. Just because it's 1,000 units, it's still a lot of units. Sales value is not much. We're considering it byproduct. These, a lot of units, and we consider them joint products. So what's the difference between LOCO and MOCO? LOCO, of course, had relative small sales value and small units, where MOCO had a lot of units. So now scrap, because the sales value is very little, that's why we consider it scrap. All right? And you can do whatever you want. If there's 6,000 units, not even a tenth of a penny, $6 for 6,000. Consider that waste if you want to. Now you can see some of that in the picture. Some would be waste, some is scrap. We can see the scrap and the waste. One that would be puzzling is picking out the byproduct. All classifications are based on proportional sales value. It is even possible that cocoa and Joko would be considered waste because you're getting such small amount, 50 and 20 and 6 out of it. A further consideration would be any selling or disposable costs that would affect the net inflow to a Triscuit company. Okay. That's just looking at the possible cost. All right, now we're going to try to do problem 14. We'll look at this one together. One of these is physical measure, one is sales value and physical value allocation. Number 14, to go products, milk and sour cream from a joint products. During June, the company produced 240,000 quarts of milk, 190,000 pints of sour cream. There are 2 pints in a quart, of course. Sales value split off was 377,000 for the milk, 170,600 for the sour cream. The milk was assigned 125,800 of the joint cost. Now, using the sales value at split off approach, determine the total joint cost for June. All right, let's look at this, and I'm going to let you work one similar to it. We got to get familiar with these joint costs and these approaches. All right, now here is your sales value of the milk, sales value of sour cream. Add the two together, divide the total into either of them, and come up with the percents of 68 and 32. Since the milk represents 68% of the total sales that split off, 125,000 represents 68% of the total joint cost. Total joint cost for June is 125,800 divided by the 68% to give us $185,000. Okay? Now look at that again. The milk was assigned 125,800 of the joint cost. We've got to know the total joint cost, and that's what we are finding. Now, B part to this one, assume instead that the joint cost was allocated based on the number of quarts produced. What was the total joint cost allocated? We just do percents again. All right, quarts of milk, 240. Quarts of sour cream, 95. Now your joint cost is 72 and 28. And you would divide this 125 by decimal 72. And your total cost then would have been that amount. So that's just joint cost for the time being. So now let's see if you could do anything with number 15. All right, this company produces 3 products from its fish farm: fish, fish oil, and fish meal. All right, during June, they produced the following average quantities from each pound: 16 ounces. All right, 8 ounces of fish, 4 ounces of fish oil, 2 ounces of milk, that's only 14 ounces, but that's what you get out of 16 ounces, okay? 2 ounces of waste. Now, if you keep going, 2 ounces are waste. In July, they processed 37.7 tons of fish. 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. Joint cost, 142,000. On average, each pound of product has the following selling price. We got fish, fish oil, and fish meal. Now see if you can do a part for number 15. Take about 5 minutes. Okay, I won't pick on any one person on that one. This is all new to you, but let me show you how easy that one is. On this one, you had the fish, the oil, and the meal, and you had the total weight. Now, they wanted you to do it by the first part of it, I think, allocate the joint cost, use the weight as the basis. And of course, round to the nearest whole percentage. Okay, now here on A part, total pounds. All right. Now, pounds of product, was this given? All right, where did the 75,000 pounds come from?
He gave me 37.5. He had it times by 2,000.
About 2,000 pounds?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, and then they gave you the cost. Let's see. Yeah, they gave you the 450, the 650, and the $2. So where did the decimal 50 come from? Unit weight. How'd you calculate that? How?
I can't get it. I didn't get it.
Well, your total pound, you had the 37.5 given, right?
Yeah.
Now, we have to get this part. Okay, somebody divide 37.5 by 65,625. Does that give you 57%? It should. Okay. Now, Olivia, what did you do? Did they give you this joint cost here? They gave you 142.8. Okay, 57% of the 142.8 is this amount. That's okay to see. All right. But now, where did you get when they gave you? Let's see, fish at 450. That was dollars, I guess. Did you not have to use that at all? Did you not have to use that? We want to wait down here and use it, I guess. Okay. Now, Kevin, you said you multiplied what by 2,000 pounds?
37.5.
2,000 pounds in a ton. And where'd you get to 37.5?
Yeah. It's 37.
Yeah, they gave it to you, didn't they?
Yeah.
All right. They processed so many tons. So this is really just 2 times the 37.5 to give you the tons, right? Or total pounds. All right. But now where do these figures come from? Okay, Eric, did you get the decimal 5 or the decimal 25 or anything like that? Where did that come from? Unit weight. Yeah, I was 8 ounces and 4 ounces and 2 ounces. Okay. All right. Now, where that come from? 8 ounces is half of 16 ounces. 16 ounces in a pound. And that's decimal 5, correct? All right. Now, the oil was what? 4 ounces? 4 out of 16 then would be decimal 25, wouldn't it? Okay. All right. Now let's look at B part. I just want y'all to be aware of where everything comes from. B part. Allocate joint costs using sales value as the basis, round to the nearest whole percentage. Now, here we've got our products that we bring down. This is given. Okay, this is given. All you got to do is multiply 450 times 37.5. So that's pretty much given. But now we've got sales value here, and we got 309. Now divide the total 309, 375 into 168, 750, and you'll get 55%. 55% of this total cost, like we had up here, 55% is 78,540 instead of 81. So one method gave us 81,396 cost. The other method gave us 78,540 cost. All right, now this one I guess was according to weight, and this one was according to sales. So all of these problems are going to be about the same. It's just a wording. All right, take a minute and look at number 16 and try to do a part. Okay, let's look at number 16. Now, were any of these assigned for homework today? Olivia, what was your homework problems? All right, 12, 14.
12, 13, 16, and 17.
All right, whether we get back to 12 or 13 or not, we will get 16 now and what have you. But 16, we had steaks, roast, ground beef, and we take the pounds, take 13,800, divide into each item, you get 24%, 45.31. Joint cost of the 26,400 multiplied by 24% will give you 63,360. Now, where did the number of pounds come from? Well, they're just flat out given to you, aren't they? 3,312. Then you get the proportion. Sales value split off. Remaining 1,200 pounds were lost as waste. All right, where did you get the 26,400? They gave it to you, didn't they? Beef for 20,000 that were converted into the following products at a cost of 6,400. So you got 26,400 into the steaks at that point. Okay, now B part, it asks you to allocate the joint cost to the three products using the sales value. Okay, we got the same pound, but they give you this. They give you the sales value split off, total sales value, 14,23.3 adds up to 41. Now divide the 41,524 into each item, and you get 34,57.9, and multiply that by the cost of 26,400 in both cases, and here your joint cost is 8,976 instead of 6,336. What method looks the best? Now, C here, selling price, allocating joint cost. All right. Allocate joint cost 56, special label 15 cents, profit 40 cents. And what was the question for C? Assume that the ground beef would be processed into sausage that could be sold for $2.10 per pound to the distributor. Now they give you this amount, 40 cents per pound, blah, blah, and wages. So allocated separate cost is 99 cents. That was 210 selling price. Take out the joint cost, take out the special label, and take out the profit desired, and it leaves decimal 99. All right, and Olivia said 17. Okay, 17, more of the same. Almost the same. What amount of joint cost is allocated to each operating group using the net realized value approach compute the profit for each operating unit after the allocation, round to the nearest whole percent. All right, here you've got revenue from games, revenue from news, and revenue from documentaries. And then you've got separate cost of 31 million, 16 million, 110 million. All right, what amount of joint cost is allocated to each operating group using the net realized value method? So let's look at A part. All right, we'll look at this approach. Revenue and separate costs. Think of that as gross profit, but all right, now if you add up this net realized value, somebody add these three together, 3 million, 14 million, 78 million. All right, what does that give you? You add those three together.
$96 million.
96 million even. Now divide 96 into 3 million. Excuse me, I hope I'm on the right track.
32.
Says round off to the nearest percent.
This is 32.
The decimal 3. Moving 2 to the left. Yep. All right. All right. Try this one, Kevin. Divide 78.6 by the total.
$82.
82. Okay. Now here's your percents. The joint cost allocation. All right. 3% of 24, 15% of 24, and 82. Now the 24, that was given, wasn't it? Number 17, and 24 should be given. Was it? Has to be. Yeah, it's given. 24 million, really. Okay, so here you got your joint cost allocation to 24 million. Now we take revenue from the games, and we take separate costs from the games, and then we take the 720 from the games, and we get net profit, 2,280,000. They do more off of documentaries than they do anything else, than news, than games. All right, it's one chapter that you're going to have the exam on. We're not going to get to look at the other chapter that I wanted to, but we need to do a whole lot with this chapter. All right, number 19 for Thursday, that's allocating joint costs. All right, I want you to be able to do number 23. Let's do a byproduct number 28. Another byproduct 32. And number 36, scrap. All right, now that will take care of homework, but we've got to look at a couple of problems too. So I'm going to let you go ahead and go today because Got awards at 3 o'clock. I've got to get some stuff ready for them. But most of all, I'm moving slow today.